The town, the Burscough town, is just there to my right hand side, which is the west side of the Preston to Ormskirk line. This here is the Preston to Ormskirk line, and the curve, north curve, came around here to join the Wigan Southport line. There's potential, there's talk of electrifying, although with the advent of battery trains soon on the cards, I'm not too sure where that takes us. It costs a lot of money to electrify a line. If you could run trains on batteries and drop the pantograph off overheads from the main lines, that saves a lot of time, cost, and it's good for the carbon footprint, as they say. There is an easier route up. I decided to take the hard route. Nodrog found the hard route. Got my boots absolutely covered in mud, and then I nestle here, and there's a much easier route. But the station, which is where the curves would have come together for the Wigan to Southport line, that was built in 1849, and you would see excursion trains coming from Southport. It was a great way to nip through here, a bit like a shortcut, joining the line to go off into Preston. But you could get trains going off into Liverpool, you get trains going to Manchester, Blackpool and beyond to easily connect. I must admit, I am puzzled really to why they have scrapped at least the north curve. I think it was with the beaching era happened, that decade of the beaching era up into the 70s, I think the line was kind of still open a little bit for freight. And having the north curve put back in place will open up new potential services, not just to circulate around the area, but potentially to go much further, like I said, with the advent of new technology in trains. And there's also talk of a new railway station also being built, which is, I've got my notes, beg my pardon, there's talk of a park and ride station on the A582 at Parker Lane to create better services there near New Longton. Coote Lane, Lostock Hall, a station for residents like Pickering's Farm, a walking distance from Kingsfold, Penwitham Lane and Tardy Gate. This could also serve the East Lancashire line as an additional stop between Preston and Lostock Hall. So we had the regeneration study done for the Preston area. A lot of areas did it, Liverpool did, and Blackpool has as well. And they all seem to be talking about the same thing as regards to reconnecting our railways, and with the government offering £500 million as the first part of opening up old railway lines and opening old railway stations to create new services, not services, is definitely, there seems to be a pattern there, a connection that's going on. There are some gnarly looking brambles on the embankment here. It's not a chance. Not a chance. We'll have a look further up here. All God's creatures are coming out to have an investigation to see what Nodrog's doing exploring here at this area. Look, they're all having a go at me. They think I'm just eat, and I'm not. I don't fancy. I should have been a bit more prepared. Sunshades are not just for keeping out the sun. Now there's a little bit here to have a look at before we walk down a bit later. This is actually the railway line that goes from Preston to Ormskirk that I'm under at the moment. It's the original, one of the original bridges that were built for the railway line. Classic red brick underneath with stone all across the area there. And I just love to touch and feel. I don't know, is there an energy? And then you've got the keystones, the decorative, are they called keystones? The decorative stones around the arches there to make them look pretty, unlike what they do now. It's great, it's just great to be here. No one else here. And there's some funny looking stones. It's been 50 years since any trains passenger trains have been on this section here. I think Oliver Cromwell, a special, came along here once. I'd have to guess the date, but it's all gone, it's all disappeared. And to think that when I was talking to some of the locals, actually, very friendly, they were saying that they've been championing the idea to bring the curve back in, because for them it just makes logistical sense as regards to passage, getting into Preston or getting themselves around. We all have motor cars, most of us have motor cars. The roads are busy, population's increasing, so much more residential development that's taking place around this area. So the railways at one time may have been a last resort or kind of forgotten, go away. But now the government, it must be the government's thinking that's changing, that to keep the communication by rail going is to reopen the railway lines as our forefathers have built before us, left the scars. It's just economical sense from a cost-saving exercise like the Fleetwood line to reuse what's available, and not just in track or sleepers, and I doubt very much there's any on there, but as regards to scars in the land, the embankment that was put here, dug out of the local area just to get the railway trains going from the late 1840s. I love stuff like that, but I don't like the midges or the flies thinking I'm a mobile buffet.